What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Awakened Toast here, and today, welcome back to some more Blade and Sorcery here on the channel. And today's video is going to be a bit of a blast in the past because we are now in the Big 26. But it has roughly been about 3.5 years, probably even longer, since I've gone and covered this mod. Guys, we are here in Blade and Sorcery on an older version, going and covering the one and only beautiful SHATTERBLADE. Still to this day, this is probably one of my favorite weapons I have ever used in Blade and Sorcery, and arguably, it probably is one of the best mods I have ever seen up until this point. I mean, in all the versions that I've played in this game, this just stands out the most to me, and I just have to have a huge shout out to Lineca, who actually works for the Warp Frog team now, which is crazy. It just feels so good to go and revisit this thing and see it in all of its glory. So with that being said, guys, if you end up enjoying this video and want to see more Blade and Sorcery content, I definitely suggest going and clicking that subscribe button right down below, because this is going to be the year that I go and revisit Blade and Sorcery, Bone Lab, and all sorts of sandbox games. But with that being said, guys, I think it's about time we go and test out the SHATTERBLADE against some enemies. You know, one thing I'm really excited about in this video to go and test is the fact that when this SHATTERBLADE first released, this was in the version of U9.3, which arguably was one of the leggiest and most performance-heavy versions of Blade and Sorcery. So it's going to be nice to go and revisit this blade and see if whether or not our modern technology can actually hold up to testing this thing out. So guys, I feel there is no better test than going and throwing this into the circle of death. This was by far one of our most used game modes when I went and covered a bunch of Blade and Sorcery content. So I'm really excited to see how good old trusty SHATTERBLADE is going to hold up against these guys. Okay, where is my other shard? It looks like I am missing a piece of my blade. And this thing is absolutely busted. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember how amazing you were. Just being able to go and resummon all of the pieces against the enemies is just incredible, dude. I love this SHATTERBLADE, and it runs so good. Before, I'm pretty sure I used to fight for like maybe 20 to 30 FPS going and using this, but now we are fighting enemies on enemies on enemies at ease, bro. Like, this is incredible. And also the fact that I can go and use this as a shield as well. But I know one of the biggest things that I remember back in this time was actually going and making this the elemental blade. I think in this one, we're just going to be covering the regular SHATTERBLADE. But if you guys want to see a part 2, I would be more than open to going and actually making a full-out elemental version of this blade too. Because honestly, that's probably my biggest memories I used to have with this blade, was legitimately going and making this the magical blade, bro. It was awesome. But also, I got to remember, there's a secret mode on here too. If I were to go to this, can I just like, I know there's a piece I can grab. Is it this guy? There we go. Yes. Okay, I got to remember how to use this. So if I go and use it normally, we just go and shoot this like a semi-auto SHATTERBLADE gun. But if I remember correctly, if we go and charge this up, we can actually make it into a full auto machine gun in Blade and Sorcery. That's so weird to me, bro. I'm gonna be real. I haven't been paying attention to a lot of the newer mods that have been coming out for the newest versions of Blade and Sorcery. But you guys are gonna have to let me know if whether or not there's any mods that literally surpass one of the single greatest that Lineca ever made. I mean, there are just so many great mods that this man went and just made for this game. Whether it be the SHATTERBLADE, whether it be his custom, like, Shatter Dagger that he made. On top of that, the Domino spell. All sorts of, like, different magic spells, too. I mean, he was just such a talented mod creator. And I just feel like in the prime times of me going and playing a ton of Blade and Sorcery, those are probably the ones that I remember the most, was just going and covering a ton of Lineca mods. Don't get me wrong, though. I still have a bunch of the OG ones downloaded on my PC, so I should be able to go and revisit like the Sands of Time, time freezing spells, all sorts of things, man. All right, guys, we gotta go and try the good old trusty method, because if I remember correctly, if we go and throw this, we should be able to spin it, and it launches the blade like a crazy tornado, bro. I cannot imagine if we had self-inflicted damage on right now, we would probably be dead already, just considering how fast these pieces are flying everywhere. And you, my friend, you just go and accept my beautiful SHATTERBLADE. Come right back to here, baby. Holy cow, bro. This thing is just so awesome. And I just have to say, this version of Blade and Sorcery just looked the greatest. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, the hands look crazy, the blood looked amazing, the character models were also incredible. There's just something about it where they really knocked it out of the park with this version of the game. I mean, granted, like I said at the beginning of this video, this was probably the worst performing version that the game ever had. just because a lot of the hardware at the time, the PCs couldn't really handle what Blade and Sorcery was going and creating. I mean, this was just the pinnacle that I would say of Blade and Sorcery. But I will say the 1.0 update was huge, but there's just something about it where ever since I would say that Nomad was introduced, it just feels like the game has definitely gotten a little bit more Play-Doh-ified, if that makes sense. It just doesn't look near as good, and it definitely felt like the PC took a bit of a hit when the Quest version of the game decided to go and release. But I do believe that it was definitely a good move for Blade and Sorcery to go out of their way and create the Quest version. I mean, there were just so many players that wanted to have the chance to go and play this game on standalone devices. So I definitely think it was a great play in, like, you know, the grand scheme of things. But as someone who really enjoyed the original version of the game and played a ton on PC, obviously enough, I think I'm just a little bit more impartial to playing it on these versions of the game. And you, I don't know what you're thinking, but you can accept my blade. These pieces are crazy, bro. And I probably wouldn't step on this bridge because you will likely be facing your death. You crazy, crazy people. And you, my guy, here, let me go and bring my blade back. I have a little bone to pick with you. This blade is just so awesome, man. You know, I'm honestly surprised that Blade and Sorcery never went out of their way to make a official version of this blade. Maybe it's because it wouldn't perform on Quest and it wouldn't be possible to actually have it. But man, can you imagine if there was like actual lore to unlocking this blade? Like, imagine that's what we actually would have gotten when we beat Crystal Hunt in the game. But man, I just can't help but have an incredible smile on my face right now because just to be able to hold this in my hand and just to know that I have this mod saved in the archives forever, like we can always go and revisit this whenever we are missing our original days of this game. Like, this is just so beautiful. But now, guys, I think it's time we go and spice up the blade a little bit. So if I remember correctly, I do have a Cosmos spell we can go and throw on this. So we are going to imbue the entire blade with this little Cosmos effect. I don't know if it's going to work. We can see if it actually does anything. I'm pretty sure it's a black hole effect, so it should actually do something. Oh, okay, it definitely does. Wait a minute. Does it launch all this stuff? Oh! Okay, guys, I think I now realize what the black hole thing does now. Anytime I go and launch the blade anywhere, all of the pieces and things that are spawned in literally fly towards it. So if I throw them here... What the heck, bro? Let me try that again. That's so weird! Alright, boys, I think it's time we go and change it up. I don't think the black hole imbuement is going to be our best bet. So instead, we are going to go and create a full-out ice blade on this SHATTERBLADE. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to lock in, make sure all of the pieces get their frost imbuement, and this thing is going to be wild. Alright, guys, it is now going to be testing time. We got our 5 little test subjects, and what I have is my beautiful little ice blade. So, without further ado, let's put this in slow motion, and you guys are going to face the wrath of the ice version of the SHATTERBLADE. This is going to get crazy, boys. I wonder if the ice effects are actually going to affect them, or if it's just going to be like the imbuement effects, which right now it is eviscerating everything. Okay, I mean, I definitely like my ice blade. I mean, this thing's great and all, but I thought I was going to do a little bit more freezing damage. But from what it looks like, it's just doing ordinary work that the normal SHATTERBLADE normally would be doing too. But you, my guy, need to slow down. All right, please and thank you. The nice part about the SHATTERBLADE too is if I can't reach the enemies from this distance, I can instead go and kind of upgrade it and then just go slam. And it helps with a lot more of our reach when we're trying to go and attack the enemies, bro. Like, this thing is wild. Yeah. Huzzah! And also not to mention the fact that we can just literally throw the pieces whenever we want. Like you, shablam. Okay, I don't know what you're thinking about doing here, but buddy, you need to face your death. All right, it's time to die, friend. Wait, and you're still alive? I probably wouldn't be moving if I saw this giant SHATTERBLADE being summoned by a man. All right, I should not even be wielding this crazy beast of a weapon, but here we are today, rocking this beautiful thing. What happened there? Huzzah. Oh my gosh! Dude, this thing's crazy! I almost wonder, though, are we playing with a realistic bleeding mod? Or is this just normally what Blade and Sorcery used to look like? Like, I feel like the gore looks a lot crazier than usual. Maybe I'm just wildin', and this is how the game used to always be. And I just got so used to, like, kind of Nomad in the way that they changed the blood effects. But it definitely feels different. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I got him stuck in the Shatterblade. Okay, come back to me, all right? Give me one moment. You guys need to stop moving just for a second, okay? I want to grab my blade. Let me grab my Shatterblade off the ground. I cannot let that get in the hands of the enemy. All right, so we'll just go and freeze all of you. We'll take our blade back. That's going to be the most satisfying thing to see, too, is just seeing the blade being built piece by piece. Like, seeing all these pieces going and flying around in slow motion, and then just to go and return it all to this magical blade is just nothing short of incredible. I really wish, though, there was some way to fix this little, like, fire one. I don't know why there is a fire effect on one of these guys, but it is what it is. All right, now that we've had our fun at using the Ice Blade, boys, I feel like there was something that I strongly remember doing when the Shatterblade first came out. And what that was imbuing the entire thing with fire and seeing what it actually looks like when we spin this thing. This is usually what would, like, lag the game crazy. So without further ado, let's give it a test and see. Oh my God, bro. The last time that I attempted this, my game could not run seeing all of this madness. But now we to go and admire the Shatterblade in all of its glory and seeing every single piece being rebuilt right in front of our eyes. This is incredible. And even just being able to go and fly the blade around, like, look at the trail that we get with the fire effect. This is so much better than our Ice Blade. Originally, I was going to try to make the video majorly just like an Ice Blade video, but man, you just cannot go against the power of what this Shatterblade is when you have the fire combined with it. Like, this is just incredible. Like, look at this thing, bro. This mod, when it first came out, just absolutely blew my mind. And even now, years later, I still would argue that this is probably one of my favorite mods of all time. And just being able to have the chance to go back to the old versions of Blade and Sorcery and see this thing again in all of its glory is just simply amazing. So guys, with that being said, if you want to see more videos made on some Blade and Sorcery and possibly some more videos covering the Shatterblade, be sure to smash that motherfracking thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you guys can stay up to date with all the VR content we post. But with that being said, guys, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, keep it toasty, my friends. Laters! I got some shells for you, boy! Oh, it's in his eye! Oh, I fixed it! I would have died! Well, right here. No! Armageddon! Yeah! Why in the heck do you not have clothes? You took my banana, and now you must suffer the consequences!